All right, what up, Nerd Squad? Thanks for stopping back in. I got another no bullshit assessment for you today. I'm a little behind the curve on this one, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I just kind of stumbled upon this probably 3 weeks ago. And so I'm 2 seasons behind, but I went ahead and got through, kind of binged through them. But I want to talk to you guys about the TV series Warrior. I'm hopefully you guys are more familiar with it than I was. Like I said, I'll be honest, I didn't even know about this. And I'm kind of bummed that I didn't. I discovered this because I was finishing Shannon Lee's newest book that she just wrote. I believe it's titled Be Water, My Friend, or Be Like Water, My Friend, which obviously is a quote from her dad, Bruce Lee. Now, it had mentioned, I think at the end of the book, or in the book, that she had been working on this TV series. So I got real interested and I started thinking, well, what is this? So I looked into it, and lo and behold, here it is. There were 2 seasons of this show that basically takes place in, it's like the 1870s time frame in San Francisco. And it deals a lot with the Chinese migrant workers being brought over and just kind of chaos in the streets. And there's a lot of rivalry between the Chinese gangs amongst each other, for like the opium trade and all kinds of different stuff going on. But then there's also the Americans who are not thrilled about them being here for cheaper labor, and so to speak. So like there's a group of like Irish, and they don't like the Chinese immigrants because they're taking all the work from the Irish and doing it for cheaper and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool dynamic. It's kind of real tense. Everybody's kind of at odds with each other, and there's a lot of really good story to this thing. But again, the cool thing is this concept of this, it's kind of like a Wild West meets, martial arts, kind of Enter the Dragon style movies and stuff. So really cool stuff. This was executively produced by Shannon Lee, who is Bruce Lee's daughter. Not just her, but it's also being directed by Justin Lin, who you guys will know from a lot of cinematic stuff. Some of the best Fast and Furious movies were under his belt as well. So really, really cool stuff. And like I said, I'm super bummed I didn't know about this prior to finishing her book and hearing her talk about it in the book. And when I say hearing about it, it's because I audibled it because I don't know how to fucking read. So anyway, check out the book though. The book's awesome. I'll put it up there so you guys can see what it looks like. But anyway, this basically is kind of like a martial arts crime drama, I guess is the way that they would label it. First came out in, let me see, it was 2019, I believe. Yeah, April of 2019, and then season 2 was just kind of wrapped up at the end of last year. So I'm a little bit behind on this, like I said, but I did get through all the episodes. I believe there was 10 per season, so I think we were 20 episodes of this thing, and they were all roughly about an hour long or so, which was pretty good. But I got to tell you guys, this fucking floored me. This show was awesome. This show literally kicked ass. Kicked more ass than it did on the screen. My no bullshit assessment for this is, hands down, this is awesome. This is fantastic. Really, really excited now that I finished the second season. They actually just within the last month have announced that they are going to do a 3rd season of this. It's going to move over to HBO Max, but they are going to put together a 3rd season. So super excited for that. I don't have a timeline for that, but I am so excited. So those of you who are not familiar with this, at least it gives you the time. Obviously, it shouldn't take you too long because it's kind of binge-worthy itself, but you can get through it and get hyped for the next season of this, which, hopefully might be next year. But this show is so good. The storyline of this show is awesome in and of itself. The kind of mini show, or not shows, the mini stories that take place within the overall story is really good. Every episode was fantastic. Absolutely amazing fight choreography. The fight scenes are awesome. Awesome. Just done very well. The cinematics of this thing are done beautifully. The compositions. I got to tell you guys, the music of some of these episodes are outstanding. Like I said, this kind of is like very much Wild West, kind of old feel like that. And they definitely play that up too in the music, and just, it is super, super cool. I will give a word of caution to those of you out there. If you got young bucks that are interested in this kind of stuff and martial arts stuff, watch this before you let them. There is definitely some graphic violence for sure. There is quite a bit of sex scenes in it. Obviously, it's, Skinamax type sex scenes, but there is some nudity and stuff like that, and simulated sex scenes. So keep that in mind. But aside from that stuff, I mean, it is just, It's great. Every episode was so good. I literally have nothing bad to say about it other than that there's not 10 seasons of this for me to keep watching currently. Every aspect of it I liked. All of the characters are awesome. You learn to love some of them and hate some of them. And I mean, the way that the story of this gets told will grab you at every turn. I mean, like I said, you will start to latch on to certain characters and you're going to hate certain characters. And when bad things happen to them, you're happy about it. And, you know, it's a true testament to fantastic writing, phenomenal, like I said, cinematography and the way that it was filmed and the fight scenes and just the overall setup, the set design stuff. I mean, this stuff is awesome. This show is hands down one of my favorites at this point. I loved every single second of it. I cannot say it enough. I could go on and on and on about it, but I don't want to just kind of bore you guys with me saying how great it was, but it truly was. And it's super cool that this was something that basically kind of came from the pen of Bruce Lee, or at least the idea behind it. And then obviously, you know, kind of modified probably by some of the writers and his daughter and stuff. And with the help of Justin Lin to make this what it was. But this is awesome. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in it that kind of is throwbacks to Bruce Lee himself. And you'll see that in there if you guys take a look at it. I definitely think I will be watching seasons 1 and 2 again, leading into when we do know that the next season is going to come out, which again, I think they're just starting production because I think they just had announced it. I don't know that it's wrapped up and they're getting ready to release it. I think they probably would have said that. So I think there was a bit of a hiatus, which honestly largely probably could have been in part due to COVID stuff or whatever, but super excited that it is picked up for another season. So we get to continue to follow these characters and their journey and just kind of how cool it is. And you guys know with my no bullshit assessments, I don't like to go into super detail with the plot and tell you like, oh, this is what's happening. But more or less just kind of give you my take on it and what I thought of it. A real brief once over for you guys, just if you're not familiar with the storyline. It basically follows the lead character who comes to America from China because he's looking for his sister. And there's some backstory to why his sister ended up in San Francisco. Well, turns out he gets immediately linked up with one of the street gangs, and because of his martial arts abilities, kind of becomes one of the high rollers of it, so to speak. He's a pretty important guy within this gang now, and he comes to find out a little bit later on that his sister's actually married to the head of one of the rival gangs. And so there's this good back and forth there where he kind of had come over to save her, but she doesn't really need saved at all. She's doing her own thing, and she ends up becoming the head of her crime family, and he's still working his way through his. And it doesn't even come out to the end of the second season that they're siblings to the masses, at least knowing. They know because they interact with each other, and one or two other people figure it out along the way who they are to each other. But within that bigger storyline, again, like I said, there's a lot of little storylines of like what the gangs are doing to further their business and their criminal, enterprise and things of that nature. So there's a lot of, stuff going on besides just that part of the story. And like I said, the Chinese gangs are battling with each other, but at the same time, they're, fighting off the Irish and the Americans and stuff like that. So just a lot of super, super cool stuff. I mean, this is just awesome. It really is. Like I said, I can't stress it enough. There weren't a lot of characters or actors portrayed in it that I was super familiar with. But they all did great though. Every single character is really good. The gentleman who does play Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat movie, Joe Taslim. He is actually in this as well. He's kind of one of the head honchos of the main character's sister's gang. He's kind of like the right-hand guy of kind of the enforcer there. He's in this. So he was kind of really the only one that I recognized, but even still, that didn't even matter. This show was awesome. I cannot recommend it enough to you guys. If you guys like martial arts movies, if you're into Bruce Lee, any of that kind of stuff, you will love this series. I highly, highly, highly suggest it. Even if it's not necessarily your cup of tea, you might want to check it out anyway because it is very good. It's very good storytelling. It's very good cinematics. But yeah, like I said, I could go on and on, guys, so I won't keep you here too much longer. But like I said, check it out. And again, I'm just disappointed in myself for not knowing about it sooner because it's fantastic. So give it a watch. Let me know what you guys think. Same as always, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you thought. If you've seen the series, if you're excited moving into the next season, or if you haven't seen it yet and maybe you're thinking about checking it out, I kind of want to know what you guys are thinking. Like I said, hit me up on Instagram, Sector 7 Podcast. Leave me some comments below. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. Tell your friends, the good old stuff. But that's all I got for you. So same as always, guys, stay safe, be good to each other, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.